Great, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to look at the table on page 439. And this is the order of reasons that individuals started a home-based business. And they're a little bit less intuitive than what you would think. The number one reason, according to their survey, was that they had sufficient space in their home or on their property to actually have a home-based business. So they had the room, so why not? Of course, the next one is one you'd think of. It's cost effective. It reduces your startup costs to do your business on premises. The next reason was that it was convenient for travel within their home region. And the following reason after that was it was convenient to travel outside the region. So in other words, it was good public transportation networks, etc. Others said it was near clients, which you can definitely see as important, especially when you're dealing with freelancing from your previous employer. Others talked about it permitted work flexibility to be working out of their home. Some said, again, near the previous employer, again, which is important for a consultancy or freelance basis with your previous employer. Some said it was an opportunity to expand the scope at their home base, and then there were some other reasons. Now, some of the interview excerpts were pretty interesting. One of the major complaints was that work was always with you when you had a home-based business, and you could never get away from work when it was just in the next room. You can probably understand that. Because home can be an awkward place to work, especially when there is no space to accommodate competing demands of work and home life. Again, you think you should be at the, doing whatever you're doing for your local business, but then you could be, doing laundry, looking after kids. There's so many other things that go on at home that are not work that this could be difficult. So when we talked about redundancy, that was a huge reason. So the cyclical downturns in the economy can result in people getting laid off. Here's one excerpt that I think is interesting. The former employer was restructuring the business and the department was being closed. So this person looked for a job, but there wasn't really a job out there. So this person took up an offer of work on a freelance basis and decided to make the most of it. Okay? So as a freelance employee at a new company. And of course, this also goes along with the idea of a survival strategy. One of the interviewees says that being redundant gave this person a kick and made them set themselves up as independent. If they hadn't been redundant, they wouldn't own their own company now. And this is the funny thing they say, they're making more money now as an entrepreneur and they enjoy it. This is an unusual experience, but definitely a heartwarming one. Another person said they took a voluntary severance package, and it gave this person the breathing space and the resources to actually set up the business. It's something I always wanted to do, but they hadn't actually been able to do it. And before, this person thought they'd be good at their business, but they hated to leave their work. It was, getting laid off, basically, or taking a voluntary severance from being laid off. Then it gave them the impetus, that kind of encouragement to start their own business. Another one, this is opportunity oriented, or it talks about the dichotomy between necessity and opportunity. So one of the interviewees says that when the business partner first said they were going to retire, this person panicked about being unemployed, which was kind of funny because this person was already self-employed. So this person took up a new strategy and dissolved the partnership and then set up on her own when her partner retired, her business partner retired, and then took on a new partner to help about 6 months later. Okay. Another person said their business wasn't doing great, their business partner was not ambitious, and she wanted to do more, so they split ways. She knew that the business design was changing and she thought she could specialize, so she set up her own shop. And of course, some people also go into a home-based business because they're not happy at work, and here's an example. One person says things were changing at work. There was a new clueless senior management team. This person was just getting fed up with work anyhow. So the day they offered redundancy or a voluntary severance, this guy spoke to his wife and applied for the voluntary severance the next day and started out on his own. Another person gave an interesting quote. I'd not been happy at work for a while. It didn't matter how well or how hard I worked. I went unnoticed. And worse still, the other staff were poor and nobody cared. In the end, I just decided I could do it by myself. So they're not happy, so they decided to go out on business. And of course, we talk about self-actualization, the desire to do something that makes you happy. This person says, I always wanted to be my own boss. I came up with a unique business idea when I was at university, and the course tutor said I should seriously think about starting my own business. And so in the final year, this person was working more on the business than on the degree, but now has a business and a degree. So basically, what this article looks at are some interesting snippets and kind of a broad-based survey data of what launched them to do their own business and what launched them to do a home-based business. Those of you that are my entrepreneurship students, the way this research paper is structured is actually not a bad example of a feasibility analysis that's been turned into a research paper. But what do you think? Do you think there's anything missing from this paper? Is there anything that you do differently? Do you love the paper? Do you hate the paper? Comment below. I'd be curious to see your thoughts. Anyhow, hope you've enjoyed this small article seminar. If you like, give me a thumbs up, comment down below, and feel free to subscribe. Great. I'll see you next time.